I am in the Buildeasy, and everything that we're talking about today has to do with the load shedding. Oh my God, when I say I want to punch load shedding, because honestly it frustrates me so much. Load shedding has been around in South Africa since 2007, but obviously in 2023 we are getting it more and more and more, and load shedding is everywhere. It's in households, it's in stores, it's in schools, literally everywhere. But now we want to find out, how can we as Africa, as South Africa and whole, move forward when it comes to the topic of load shedding. Joining us in the conversation today is Olwethu from KingMaker Academy, as well as Glen from NPO 350 Africa. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, Randy.
I think the most frustrating question for me is that we have load shedding. Do you guys think it's going to get worse before it gets better, or this is the bottom and we're going to rise up from here? For you, Glen.
I don't want to make predictions,
Yeah.
but I think we can get better,
Okay.
and I think we need to take action to make sure that that happens.
Yeah.
Yes, like you said, it's got worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's feeling pretty bad right now. But I think there's a great opportunity, there's opportunity in solving load shedding.
Yeah.
And it's not just in terms of getting more electricity and making sure we have electricity all the time, but there's an opportunity for justice, for more equality in our country. And there's also an opportunity to fight climate change at the same time.
Yeah.
So there are a number of opportunities that load shedding presents to us. So I think we might be in a bad place, but we can look up. There's a place we can go. There's hope. So I think we just need to act together, come
Yeah.
together, and I hope we'll be able to talk a bit about ways we can do that.
I love the fact that you're looking at it as an opportunity. But before we get into how can we solve the solution, we're here right now. Who do you think we're here because? Is it because of the government? Is it because of people? Is it because maybe we use too much electricity, we're unaware? Like, who are we to blame so that we understand how we got to the situation before we even unpack? Because if we don't unpack how we got here, we might get here again. For you, Olwethu.
Oh, that is such a big question, because it's a conglomerate of things that led us to be here. But I think, to Glen's point earlier on, we need to now all of us take accountability and say, we are all here. How do we turn the ship around, right? Because, we have voted for the people that are in power, and yet we have the opportunity, as Glen said, to change what we don't like. So with everything that's going on globally, not even just in South Africa, there are so many opportunities for us to turn it around, but we need to take accountability and actually realize this is actually going down. It's not, contrary to, I am optimistic, Glen, but I think we need to face the reality, but this is going down, and it's going down right now, and the sooner we recognize and realize it's actually happening, the sooner we can take advantage of those opportunities to make a turnaround.
I mean, do you want to say something?
Yeah,
of
I'd
course.
love to add something. I think, something that has got us to where we are is increasingly what is outmoded thinking, and that's a reliance on fossil fuels, right? And I think we need to see that there are some people who are really invested in making sure that we carry on burning coal, oil, and gas, in order to generate power and electricity as a nation. And I think globally, things are moving on, so something we might talk about a bit is a just transition, right? So we're transitioning from one mode of energy, fossil fuels, to another one, which is renewable energy, right? Solar, wind, those sorts of things. And we've got an opportunity now to make that a just transition. But there's some people who are clinging to fossil fuels. And we just see how unreliable they are, right? Our coal plants are breaking down all the time. They're old. Nuclear plants not doing too well. We need to sort of open our eyes to the new source of energy out there and make sure that we do shift to renewable energy, and quickly. And we need to make sure that there are people that are held accountable for this. There are people out there that are heading big fossil fuel companies. There are people, political leaders, who keep pushing for things like fossil fuels. Our Minister of Energy at the moment, Glen, calls himself a coal fundamentalist. Well, we see where that's got us. It's time for a change, and I think we can do that, and there's something that we can all do in order to make that change.
And we really can, and I feel like most South Africans are moving into a different zone. I mean, so many people are learning how to adjust to load shedding, and also getting solar panics, etc. So we're moving into a new way, definitely. Now, what's got everybody's attention is the 18.6 tariff that might be implemented. Any thoughts, gents?
The truth of the matter is, Eskom needs the tariff because they do not have the funds to turn this around. That's just hence I'm saying we need to face the reality of the situation, and then once we face the reality and say what is out there, what are the alternatives. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, sometimes problems bore the best solutions.
Yeah, they
and
do.
The climate change conversation has been happening for the longest time, but unfortunately for South Africa, it has become very real very quickly. So bridging the gap in how then we solve our problems today, here and now, I think we should need to start doing what we call an energy, vet in our house, looking at how much energy do we actually spend. Like I had an interesting conversation talking about just this week about how much your light bulbs take so much energy. If you just switch your light bulbs, I think kettles and electric stoves are, I think, of the past.
Yeah.
Focus on gas, for us as Africans, we're lembo, going back to basics, but then finding modern ways to incorporate what our forefathers used to live like in 2023. I think that to me is where the engineers, the architects, and all the people that have gone to all these prestigious schools to come and say what has worked before in Africa and how can we modernize it to fix our current problems.
I love that. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Olwethu said, the increase is necessary. We know that Eskom needs money and in order to make these changes. And so there is a need for money. Where that money comes from, I think we need to look at more carefully. Making people, users of energy, pay more is one way to do it. We could also look at who are the people who are making lots of money from the current energy system, and make sure that we are taxing them enough so that we can provide services, basic services like electricity to the people. So I think that's really important, is to make sure that we're looking at, yes, we need more money. Where is that money coming from? How best are we going to get it? Because like you said, there is the need for money. Whether an increase is the best way to do it, that's what our current leaders have said, but I think there are other and more creative and more just or justice-focused ways to do that.
All right, quickly, I want to find out from the both of you, how much longer do you think we're going to have to endure load shedding? And if so, do you have any advice how can we make our homes load shedding friendly? So if the power goes out, like my life is not falling apart completely like it is right now. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I think we must prepare for the worst before it gets better.
Okay.
So I think the system will completely collapse and we must prepare for the worst. So step one, as I said, to do an energy vet, understand how much energy that you are spending, right? Second step, you can start building on systems. Maybe get a mobile UPS system. You can get one from 10,000 going upwards. I don't know how much the gigabytes and the gigabytes work, Hence, an energy vet is necessary, whereby you can say, okay, at least for the times that we don't have electricity, I can power my laptop, I can power my router, there's some lights, and maybe the fridge, And then look at over time, how do I add on that so that I am completely, if not mostly, off the system? Because I think that's the way we should start approaching it, and maybe stock fails and organizing, because there is money if we really want to solve the problem. If we can get together and organize ourselves, we can solve this problem. So I think that's where we should start, solving the problem.
Oh man, I would love to hear your answer, but we'll hear it later before maybe the game. Right now though, I feel like we need to hear what's happening over that side and find out what is our social media question for the day. Kezia girl, what's up?